now responsible for the success and sustainability of 8 different sections and the precious lives of 183 soldiers. Can I be honest with y'all? There were moments when it felt easier to give up because failure felt closer than success. But as the leader, I didn't have that option. I refused to collapse under the weight of fear, under the fear of the unknown. I had to stand tall. I had to maintain my composure in front of my troops who were looking to me to set the standard. Now, yes, behind closed doors, I may have been drowning myself in trillions of tears, begging out to God for supernatural strength and divine direction. But in front of my soldiers, I made a choice.
That, folks, is Captain Marques Powell, and he's going to join us on the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast and explain exactly how he creates breakthrough success for teams and individuals. Let's go.
Hi folks, welcome to the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast by Gary Ryan from Organisations That Matter. In this podcast, Gary shares everything about servant leadership, service leadership, authentic leadership, how to create high performance cultures, service excellence and life balance. Here's your host, Gary Ryan.
Pleasure, Marques, to have you join us. Wow. Not only are you a captain in the US military, you are the founder of Power Leadership Solutions. You're also doing a master's degree in cybersecurity and AI intelligence. Man, we have to go to the start of the story. Tell us about that 17-year-old that joined the military.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's an amazing intro, Gary. But I wouldn't feel right if I didn't first and foremost start out by showing my appreciation for allowing me to be on your podcast, man, and to tap in with your followers and deem me worthy to kind of spend some time with me, man. So I appreciate you for that, man.
100% welcome, Marques. You've got an awesome story. I love it. I want people to learn about it and find out about it, and most importantly, get you in front of their people through your business.
Absolutely, man. All in God's timing. But to answer your question, man, so I joined the military when I was 17 years old. I went to basic training. This was during the summertime of my 11th grade year. Didn't know much about what I was about to sign myself up for, man, to say the least. But it definitely turned out to be a beautiful blessing, man. I was a 17-year-old kid, man, lost, didn't know what he wanted to do, still trying to find out who he was on the inside, trying to figure out his identity, what direction he wanted to take in life. I knew I wanted to be great, but I didn't know what that role would look like, and I didn't know what type of man that I needed to become in order to achieve my goals. And don't get me wrong, man, I'm still becoming that man today. But, looking back, I definitely would tell my 17-year-old self, man, just keep going. Because the journey is beautiful, man. And the people that you'll touch, it's a fulfilling feeling, man. It's a feeling like no other.
Now, that 17-year-old started his working life as a 15-year-old as a cleaner. Now, you might not know this, but that is a history that you and I both share. I was also a cleaner. So every single cleaner out there, we both give you all a shout out. We understand what that work is like. And personally, I remember being a ghost. And I used to say hello to people when I'd be cleaning the hallways and they would walk past. And very often, Marques, they would jump and look at me and have this look in their face as if it was like, oh, it speaks.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Your humility was wonderful. It was a great lesson in life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man. So just to add some context to that, my very first job, man, I was 15 years old, man. I was working at Chick-fil-A, man, cleaning bathrooms, cleaning the dining halls, man, just doing all the dirty work, cutting up the cardboards and hauling it outside to the dumpster. And so, man, I don't regret that at all, man, because I wouldn't be the man I am today without it. Back then I didn't care. Shoot, I was getting money every 2 weeks. I was able to get a car and be one of the first kids in my grade to have a job, have a car. So I was cool. But man, that taught so much character within me. Just getting your hands dirty, man, and doing it with the what's the word I'm looking for, man? Just
humility.
Doing it with not necessarily humility, but just doing it with excellence, man. Going the extra mile, man. Chick-fil-A, it's not a regular restaurant. It's not a regular fast food restaurant, and they don't just have any type of customer service. you got to go above and beyond, whether you the janitor or whether you greeting the customers when they first walk in. So, man, that taught me, like, if I can clean bathrooms with service and with excellence and go the second mile cleaning bathrooms, man, how much more extra mile can I go when I'm doing something that I really want to do? And so that's where we are today, man. I wouldn't be here without it, man. So I worked at Chick-fil-A for about 5 years, man, and actually got the opportunity to transition into Chick-fil-A corporate. So that was a full circle moment, man. And it just goes to show you, man, it's not about where you start, bro. It's not about where you start, man. It's about what you do with what you got each and every single day, even when nobody's watching.
Oh, that's so powerful, isn't it? Especially when no one's watching. And it's not the only full circle moment you've had in your career, because I want you to share with the audience, please, Marcus, your reaction to this statement to you from a commander early in your career when he said to you, Private Powell, if you weren't humble, hardworking, and coachable before this moment, I would have discharged you today. Tell us about that.
Man. All right, so let me break it down a little bit. Let me break it down a little bit, man, because being in basic training, man, those are high pressure situations. You're away from family for an extended period of time. You sleep deprived. You're only getting like 6 hours, 5-6 hours of sleep. You only get 10 minutes to eat, and it's things that you necessarily wouldn't eat in your everyday life. You in the heat all day, every day. You carrying 60, 70 pounds on your back. And the biggest challenge for me, at least, is you're around people from all over the world. You know, a lot of people being different than who you are. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing, I'm not a man against diversity, but of course you're going to run into some people who you just don't see eye to eye with. And so we had just finished physical training. It was like 7:00 in the morning. We just finished physical training. It was wet. It was raining. Our shoes were muddy and dirty. And we were given these PT mats at the beginning of basic training, and it was our responsibility to keep up with these mats wherever we go. Whenever we have training, we keep up with these mats because we lay on them to do our stretches, to do our exercises. And so sometimes we put our face on them and we put our heads on them, right? So of course you would understand that you want to keep those mats pretty clean, right? So we had, like I said, we just got inside from physical training outside in the rain. So I was already kind of mad at that. I was hungry, ready to eat. And one of my fellow comrades, he found it a bright idea to step on my mat with his dirty, muddy shoes. And you know, the human thing is to ask him, like, hey bro, can you step aside? You stepping on my mat. And so that's what I did. And, you know, unfortunately, he didn't move. And so, man, by no means am I glorifying this situation, this story, but just in the blink of an eye with the built-up pressure and just all the factors of being away, being in high-pressure situations, man, I just found myself pulling the mat from under his feet and watching him go airborne. And he landed on his hip and, you know, he started, grimacing in pain. And I didn't even realize what I've done in that point because my blood was just boiling. You know, just like have you ever had like a split second situation?
Oh yeah,
where your emotions kind of get the best of you.
I got 10 brothers and sisters. Of course I have.
So you're familiar with that feeling.
Oh yeah,
that's what happened, man. And before I knew it, man, it was drill sergeants from this direction, that direction, like 5-6 of them. Man, they come swarming at me, charging like, Private, what did you just do? You don't deserve to be in the military. Blah, 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 blah. And man, I was still trying to figure out what I'd done because I didn't even realize what I did. But, you know, fast forward, man, me and him, we're still tight to this day. You know, he forgave me. I apologized, of course. I had a long talk with my drill sergeants, and some corrective action was implemented, to say the least. But that was the moment that I realized how important emotional regulation was. Being able to just to control how you feel in each and every single situation, because you never know how that one split second can cause you to lose everything that you work so hard and sacrifice for. So ever since then, man, I'm real big on just taking care of my peace, taking care of my inner self, my mind, my mental, making sure that I'm decompressing on a daily basis. Just so that way, if something like that does arise where me and someone else, we don't see eye to eye, I can be able to handle that situation in a respectful manner, especially now with me being in charge of 160 soldiers. I have to handle each and every single situation with delicacy and care, because these guys and gals are looking up to me for leadership. So I just want to set the right example, man. So I thank God for that testimony.
Oh yeah, that experience
Yeah.
is amazing how those challenges really shape us, Marcus, and make us the people that we are. And that full circle moment is you're now the commander of that 160 soldiers that you were once a private in. You're now the captain. You're the leader, and you've done something extraordinary with that group of soldiers. You've taken them from last position to first position in a very short period of time. How did you do that?
Man, short answer, God. Short answer, God. I can't take none of the credit for it. I'm just doing what he called me to do, man. But I can't say that I did it alone either, man. I got a strong staff. I got a strong group of soldiers, dedicated soldiers from young to older, who are willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. So, man, I was just blessed to be, to be leading beautiful and determined and willing soldiers. And man, just as far as me, my position, man, just showing up each and every single day, bruh, even when I didn't feel like it, early mornings and hitting the gym and spending my time with God, and just doing what needs to be done without other people having to ask me of it, and just going above and beyond to make sure that I'm staying ahead of the game. And man, just setting a good example, man, and just loving on my soldiers and making sure that they're good and taken care of, man. That all that just came back, and when it was time to put the work in and knock out these missions, they was able to do it with a smiling face and go above and beyond. So that's how we made it from last place to first place, man.
And what did last place look like? Like, what was the reality of how things were working at that time? Because let's make it real here.
Man, last place. Nobody wants to be in last place. Nobody wants to be in last place, man. That looked like the lowest numbers in the battalion. And just to help paint the picture, we had 7 sister companies that we are constantly compared to. So when it comes to like medical readiness, the metrics as far as how trained the soldiers are, when it comes to certain missions and taskers like shooting weapons and being ready to deploy, we were last place in each and every single one of those categories, man. So that's what it looked like. It looked like no respect. It looked like constantly being written off. It looked like people hearing you talking one end out the other. When you said like a ghost, when you were cleaning them bathrooms, that's how it looked like. People looked like they didn't recognize you. They didn't want anything to do with you. And I don't know about you, but man, I don't like that feeling. I don't like being disregarded. I don't like feeling like I'm less than, and feeling like that my work is not good enough necessarily.
Yeah.
So that's what being in the last place looked like.
Yeah. So what were some of the early things you did? Because you mentioned and you gave credit to your fellow leaders, right? But you still got to develop them. You have to work with your fellow leaders to develop them to help you lead the entire company. So what were some of the first things? Like if someone's on a leadership journey right now, and they don't have to be in the military to apply this. This is the important part of your journey. It's applicable in any environment, anywhere. So you got a team, the metrics are saying they're last. Like, what did you actually do to help build that sense of leadership to start with a core group of people to then infiltrate the rest of the 160 soldiers in the company?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. It starts with you. If you're the leader of a group, man, it starts with you. You got to do that inner work, and you got to realize that you are a leader, and all your actions from that point forward, they got to follow. You got to be the hardest working person out that group. You got to be the first in and the last out. You got to be the hungriest. You got to be the most determined. You got to be ready to dominate and destroy each and every single day. So that killer mindset, that's where it started at. But to get more technical and tactical, implementing systems.
Yes.
Implementing systems. Right now, my expectations, what I needed, what I expected out of my soldiers, and giving them game plans to actually achieve that, and providing them with it, setting the example, showing that, hey, I expect this, but I'm living by this as well. So this is the new standard now, and if you fail to abide by these standards, then we can transfer you to another unit. But here, this is a group of young leaders, young and older leaders who want to strive to be better than the best. So if you can't get with that, that's cool. That's perfectly fine, man. Everybody not built to strive for excellence. So you got to be real with yourself and let me know and be honest, so that way I can push you somewhere else. Because this group right here that we have is a group of dogs, and that's all I want. I don't want nobody who gonna make excuses. I don't want nobody who gonna cut no corners. I don't want nobody who gonna cry when it gets tough, when it gets hard, who gonna complain. Nobody wants to be around nobody like that. I need dogs. I need determined people. I need people that's ready to destroy and ready to dominate. Because if we go into war and we go on these missions and we protecting this country, man, I don't want no little lollipops behind me. I want people who I know that's gonna have my back, so that we can get back home to our families.
Yeah.
So just, man, that energy, that's the energy that you bring, and man, people feel it when you walk into a room, man. They feel it. If that's really who you are, and that's really the energy that you embody, they feel it, man, and they rise up to the occasion. So
Marques,
that's how I cultivated that.
Yeah, it sounds like one of the first things you did was address the issue of responsibility, and it sounds like you said, well, I'm the leader, I'm responsible, it starts with me. Is that in any way accurate?
Absolutely. It starts with me. Absolutely. I'm the point man. I'm in the number one position, and I'm not saying that as far as like importance, but when people look to guidance, when they look for guidance, they look to me. And it starts at the top. And that's not something to brag about, man. That's a heavy responsibility.
Yeah.
Because even when you don't want to show up, even when you got things going on back home and your mom's sick, or your dad, or your kids, or you got responsibilities lining up on top of each other, that don't matter. They still looking to you to set the example and to be the hungriest and to be the most determined. So yeah, it starts with me, and resiliency is what I teach my soldiers. Because like I say, it doesn't matter what you have going on in your personal life. What matters is, can you get this job done? Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah. Can you get the job done? Can you live a life in a manner? We've all got things going on in our lives, but we're here to get a job done. And in your case, it's a job that people's lives around you rely upon. And while you did mention the top, one thing we talk about here on the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast, Marques, is servant leadership. And we actually flip that pyramid and make the leader down the bottom, right? And that your job as the leader, which you've clearly articulated, is to actually serve the people above you. Absolutely. When you look at the pyramid that way, so that they can do their job.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that service commences with your willingness to take responsibility for your role as a leader. And leadership's a heavy burden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It definitely is a heavy burden, man. And I love that. I love how you flipped the triangle on the servant leadership, man. And especially with me being in that position once, me being at the bottom of the barrel, being a private in the same exact unit. Man, I tell you, my soldiers that's at the bottom of the barrel, and I only say that just to paint the picture, but man, they're not at the bottom. There is no bottom of the barrel in my unit. There is no bottom of the barrel really anywhere. Like I say, man, it's not about where you start. And I wish more people will understand that, because they kind of look at titles and positions and feel like, man, I'm nothing. Like, I don't have any rank. I don't have any say-so. Nah, man. What matters is what you do with what you have, controlling what you can. And so, man, my young soldiers, 17-year-olds, fresh out of high school, the privates, man, sometimes they have the best ideas. sometimes they have better ideas than my more experienced soldiers, and not necessarily because of the experience, but because they actually have the boots on the ground, and they doing the dirty work. They getting their hands dirty, and so they're kind of seeing way more of the scope of the project. So man, I don't disregard anybody. I was once there. Like I say, I was once there. I got disregarded, but just because something is done to you don't mean that you have to do the same thing to others. So you can break the cycle, and that was my response. That was what I was determined to do. If I told myself, if I ever get in that position of leadership, the position that I am in now, I'm breaking the cycle of a lot of things. And so yeah, I give my privates, my lower enlists, I gave them a lot of power, and I allowed them to use their voice, and I allowed them to have responsibility, and I allowed them to make certain calls. They can't make all the calls now. No. Certain calls they just can't make. But man, yeah, I push them.
Yeah, and look, to give people the respect, to give them responsibility, so that they get the opportunity to really understand what responsibility looks and feels like, is such a powerful thing to do as a leader. And that act in and of itself creates new leaders.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it allows people to let that leader come out of them, which brings us to Power Leadership Solutions in your speaking and leadership development business. You want to tell the audience about what you're doing with your speaking? I've had the opportunity to see amazing clips of you on stage. It's mind-blowing, it's powerful, it's enabling. Tell us about Power Leadership Solutions, Marques.
Ah, man. That's a great segue, man. So let me rewind the whole wheel for you, man, just to kind of give you a better glimpse. And of course, me and you, we've had conversations, but man, I started speaking publicly in kindergarten, man. 6 years old, bro. 20 years ago, I started speaking publicly, man. I delivered my first speech to my elementary school, and that I just have this ultimate intuition that public speaking and motivational, inspirational speaking was my thing at 6 years old? Absolutely not. To be honest, man, I just did it because my mom told me to do it. I think she's on this Instagram, actually. She's on this live. Yeah. Hey, mama.
You got an awesome son. What a great mother.
Thank you. So yeah, she just told me, like, hey, do this. And so I did it, and the superintendent actually invited me out to speak to the entire board of educators, board of directors for the entire school district in kindergarten, man. And so ever since then, I just kind of started to take pride into it, because it was something that I'm good at. And every kid, even growing up in adults, man, they strive to be good at something. And so when you realize that you're good at something, you take it and run with it if you really care about it. And so, man, all throughout elementary, middle, high school, delivering speeches, man. And it was a full circle moment that clicked for me. In college, when I went to Georgia State University, I received the opportunity to deliver the same exact speech that I delivered in first grade, the Martin Luther King Jr. speech. And so, man, that was an amazing moment. Of course, man, there's no way that I could have foreseen that happening. But just after I delivered the speech in college, man, just people came up to me and, just share how inspired they were about me delivering the speech. And man, I just did it because they asked me to do it. At that time, and I wasn't really thinking about the effect that public speaking has on people, and so that's when it clicked in my brain, like, hey, this could be something. This could be something, and so ever since then, I became more intentional with honing my craft and just even really just trying to figure out what this was. I didn't even know motivational speaking as a business could be a thing, but just staying close to God, man, and just kind of hearing him talk and guide me towards my purpose. He blessed me with the opportunity to create Power Leadership Solutions. And so what we do is we speak to high school, colleges, college students on just becoming their best self, man. Just overcoming the battlefields that they go through in life and internally, whether it be mindset problems or whether it be physical challenges that they're enduring or financial conflict that they're enduring. Just putting on the full body of armor to overcome those challenges so that way they can experience breakthrough success, bro. And so, man, I've talked to over 7 schools. I just started the business like 6 months ago, man. Of course, I'm a full-time United States Army officer, so I can't really go full-fledged like how I want to right now. But man, we've talked to over 7 schools, man. Reached over 150 students, and from colleges to high schools. I actually got a speaking gig tomorrow, and I'll be speaking to some high schoolers and about their next steps in life. So that's what we do, man. We just try to inspire the youth, man, and just try to be a positive influence in today's dark world, and just be a shining light through God, and just do the best that we can so that way others can experience breakthrough success for themselves.
Yeah, and your slogan there, which is battlefield to breakthrough. And you don't have to have been in the military, as you've just articulated, to have experienced the battlefield that life can throw at you. It could be the family situation you're in. It could be that you're in an environment where there's a lot of crime around you. It could be a situation where maybe there's been health issues, and there's all sorts of battlefields that young people have to face.
Right.
But the
Absolutely.
breakthrough is possible because you mentioned your own gifts. Now, I'm a believer that every single human being is born with gifts.
Absolutely.
And, and they're self-evident when we're little children. You've got your young son, 2 years of age, his gifts are already starting to shine through. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, however, when people go through elementary school and high school and get to be a young adult, for a lot of people, they've either forgotten or set that gift, excuse me, aside because for whatever reason they don't think it's possible to lean into the gift.
Mhm.
And yet, as you've shared from that 6-year-old that got to do that speech for the first time, and then you got to do a speech at college at the end, and people
Mhm.
coming up to you and saying how inspirational it was, even then you still didn't realize it was a gift.
Mhm.
But at some point, it's clicked and gone, hey, there's something in this. I've got a gift that I was born with, that maybe I've got a duty, a responsibility, and an obligation to lean in and intentionally develop that gift.
Mhm.
Because the power of one to many that you have through your public speaking and the leadership programs you do,
Mhm.
in every single group of those high school or college students that you're working with, Marcus, there's bound to be 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, who knows what the number of young people, male, female, who recognize the battlefield that they're in, but breakthrough is possible. And
Absolutely.
that is such an awesome opportunity for people to tap into. What's the best way for people to reach out to you? And I know you're busy with your military role, but you still are available for people to book you. What's the
Oh yeah.
best way for people to book you in, Marcus?
Man. Man, I'm on all platforms, man. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, my website, everything is Marques Powell Speaks. So MarquesPowell. Then the website is marquespowellspeaks.com. So man, that's one of the best ways to reach out to me, man. And yeah, just tap in with me on all platforms, man. I post inspirational, motivational videos that, that's gonna get you going. It's gonna inspire you to unleash that dog that's inside of you, man. Despite everything that you got going on in life, if you got a purpose, if you're really trying to achieve something in this temporary world that we in, and inspire somebody, and just break chains, break generational curses in your family, and just go above and beyond, then my content is for you. And you want to get me in front of your people, in front of your guys, whether it be students or whether it be just the corporate workspace. I promise you, the people, they're not gonna leave out the way they came.
Oh, yeah. MarquesPowellSpeaks.com, folks. That's what we want to lead in. We'll have all of the links in the show note. There's also LinkedIn too. If you're on LinkedIn, you can also
Yeah,
find Marques Powell on
absolutely,
LinkedIn as well. Captain Marques
absolutely.
Powell, of course, folks. And, reaching out with the Power Leadership Solutions is just an awesome opportunity for you to do. And something to think about with this too, folks, right? And I really believe this. It is true that some people are born into family situations that are not healthy. for
Mhm.
lots of different reasons. It could be drugs and family issues and all sorts of things. But folks, you're not just the direct creation from the parents that you have. Each of your parents have generations of people that lived before them. And that means that within your genes, you have talent, you have gifts, you have capacity that has been passed down from many, many generations through your immediate parents to you. But you have that within you, and that people like Marcus can help unleash what that is for you, help you discover that gift so that you can lean into it. And as Marcus said with himself about breaking the chain of the way people might be treated, you can actually break that train, possibly in some cases between you and your direct parents, if that's been a situation for you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm so glad you said that, man. I actually this past weekend, man, I celebrated my granddad's 85th birthday, man. Yeah, we celebrated my granddad's 85th birthday, man. We had all the family in the building, man. All his kids, my uncles, my aunties, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, man. And it was just a beautiful moment, man. But I actually got a chance to speak to everyone, and I told my granddad of, you know, just how proud I am that we was actually able to get together on a celebratory event instead of a funeral, and so he was able to get his flowers while he's still here, man, and just see the beautiful blessings that he created from just being obedient, man, and just seeing how we all going out there, we all doing our thing, man, staying focused and trying to break these generational curses, man, and just provide for our families. So, man, I think everybody has that ability, whether you believe it or not, but once you start to tap into it and realize that, man, I do have the power to make my life that I'm in today, it can look completely different a year, even 6 months from now. If I lock in, I get focused on what I really want to do. I cut out all the distractions, cut off all the excuses, and put my head down to work, going monk mode, as they say. Man, it's possible, man, and I'm a living testimony of it. And I'm nowhere near where I'm destined to be, but I know I'm on the right track. So we're going to keep going, man, one foot in front of the other, man, laying a brick a day.
I am 100% supportive of that statement. I know you're on the right track, and I'm just so excited for what the future's going to behold. And I just got goosebumps then as you're giving a great shout out to your mum and to your
Yeah,
granddad. What
yeah,
amazing human beings that you've had
absolutely.
the honor to have been born through, and to give
Yeah,
a great shout out to. And as you said, to be able to celebrate your grandfather's 85th birthday instead of having the family come together for a funeral, and share some love with him and give him some credit for his life and what he's created for the generations now that have come after him is just a wonderful thing to do. Marcus, my last question for you is this.
hmm hmm
What does moving beyond being good mean to you?
What does moving beyond being good mean to me?
Yes.
Moving beyond being good. Moving beyond being good. Man, that's the standard. That's the standard. Moving beyond being good. I mean, we don't strive for good. We don't strive for great. We strive for excellence. And so, what that means to me is every single task that you do, man, from the minute that you wake up, you turn your alarm clock off, and you get up out that bed, is doing every single thing, striving for excellence. Whether you brushing your teeth, whether you spending your time with God, whether you exercising each and every single rep, whether you talking to people, interacting with people, whether you on a job, man, just every single thing that you're doing, you striving for greatness. And eventually you do that every single day, man, you're going to look up and you're going to have this brick wall built, and people are going to think it's an overnight success, but they don't know that each and every single task, each and every single second of the day, man, you were striving for excellence. And so that's what moving beyond being good looks like, man. We pushing the needle all 2026.
Oh wow, what an answer. It's striving for excellence. And you actually started our conversation by talking about how when you were working as a cleaner at Chick-fil-A as that 15-year-old, you were striving for excellence. You were in a culture, and good on Chick-fil-A for creating that culture for a young man like yourself at the time. But
Mhm.
you obviously got exposed to that. And as you said, it didn't matter if you were serving customers or you were the janitor, you were still there to strive for excellence. and then how that's influenced and carried through your career into the military and now into Power Leadership Solutions is just extraordinary. I want to thank you and appreciate you for sharing your time and story with the Moving Beyond Being Good audience. Thank you, Captain Marques Powell.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. And I got to thank you as well. Man. This is an amazing initiative, man. Just being able to give people the opportunity to shed light on their movement, on what they're doing in this world. And, of course, the different endeavors that you're a part of, man, just the business coaching that you do, man, helping people turn their business into succeed in ventures, and just being a mentor to a lot of people who don't have the access to the knowledge that you have, being able to pull the next man up, man. So I definitely salute you, man, Gary. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You got a bright future as well.
100%. I appreciate you. That's all servant leadership, what you've just described there, and I'm a massive believer in it. Folks, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast, please do so on YouTube. You'll find us on every single podcasting platform, both audio and visual, of course. Check out Organisations That Matter through www.orgsthatmatter.com. Please put some comments like, what was your biggest takeaway from your listening to Captain Marques Powell today on the battlefield to breakthrough journey that he shared with us. It's been a delight to have you with us, Marques. Once again, folks, thanks for joining us. Remember, subscribe, like, it helps us get amazing and incredible guests like Marques Powell. Let's go. We'll see you all soon.